Fritz Goldman joins us now with tips on how to hire a great employee for your business, and it involves dating of all things.
The startup therapist is in the house again. Jeff Hyman, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Fritz.
And we're talking about now when people join a firm, but not just jumping into it, how it's like dating.
Recruiting is like dating. Would you have a first date, a blind date, and then immediately go to get married? Of course not. And recruiting is really no different.
Just would be like in a movie if you did, I guess.
That's right. And it might work out, but odds are it won't. So there's a number of things you can do to actually improve the chances of going the distance with the candidate.
And I have some notes here that we talked about. So one was take time, which is of course what we're talking about.
That's right. And so when I think about recruiting, I'm investing progressively more time with a candidate. Obviously a 20-minute phone screen. Then we get together in person for an hour. And then we get together again for maybe 2-3 hours. Then they're going to meet the rest of the team. Then we're so we're investing more and more time as we get progressively deeper in the relationship, hopefully heading to the altar.
And you know, interestingly, that's kind of not like what people really want. They want to get in there and start working immediately. So this is sort of going against the grain a little bit.
That's right, because a lot of companies wait and do what I call just-in-time hiring. So Sally quits, we got to find someone today or this week. So they jump right to it, get me some resumes, and they start interviewing immediately.
And certainly the online services that are out there doing that kind of perpetuate this bit too.
So absolutely.
Another point is when we talk about this kind of long process is a work date.
Right.
So that kind of a trial period.
That's right. The work date, some people call it a dry run or a test drive or a job audition. You're basically spending time with that candidate, not in an interview, but in an actual project. It could be 2 hours or 2 days, but you're working with them and you see them in action. And that's highly predictive of how they're going to perform in the job after you're married together.
And I'm sure that people appreciate that because it gives them the opportunity to think, well, was this maybe really the firm I wanted to work with?
Candidates actually love it. That's right.
So another tip is, and that is, like dating and like getting married, that kind of prenuptial agreement or maybe a living will.
Yeah, no one likes to think about prenups, but couples that develop a prenup or the terms of separation later actually have already resolved that issue. And a lot of companies are now starting to have a similar discussion with candidates even before they start, or maybe on their very first day. And they'll basically say, look, we know this is not going to be the last place you ever work. We're not going to be your last employer, but let's have kind of a terms and conditions of your departure. Let's talk about that now. So if you're getting bored or frustrated, you don't just leave us high and dry and quit one day and then we have to scramble to find someone. Let's have kind of a graceful leave.
And you know, once again, the employee, it's like, hey, here's a road, here's a path that we're all on, and if it doesn't work out, we have this all planned. So it's a great idea.
That's right.
Finally, and that's once again with this whole dating metaphor, and that is meeting the parents.
Right, so let's end on a high note, right? Meet the parents is important in dating and getting married, and meeting the family is also very important and valuable when it comes to recruiting. So I like to actually spend time getting to know the candidate on a personal level. Maybe invite their spouse or partner. They might want to meet mine. And so when you make that personal connection, you get to know a lot about a person, you really get some insights into the decisions they make, but also your acceptance rate is much likely to be higher because you've made it personal.
And similarly, that person may be meeting the business family, the executives, and other people that he may not have contact with on a day-to-day basis.
That's exactly right.
What is the ethos of the firm?
Right, and you'll get to meet perhaps the board of directors or investors. Make it personal.
Jeff, this has been great. Thank you for joining us today.
Check out businessfirstam.com to find out where to see our entire show. And don't forget to like, follow, and share Business First AM.